pandemic has posed many financial challenges for millions of folks, but economists are now paying special attention to the difficulties faced by women who are out there working.
That's right, and some are calling it a she-cession. TJ sat down with Nicole Mason, president and CEO of the Institute for Women's Policy Research, a few days ago for her take.
She-cession. Let me bring in Nicole Mason, president and CEO of the Institute for Women's Policy Research, and she's here in studio to help us with this. She-cession, catchy name, might fit. Are we still in it?
We are. The short answer is yes. We're still quite in it. We are beginning to rebound, but we still have a long ways to go. And in order for us to get out of the she-cession or to fully recover, we're going to have to get the pandemic under control and, most importantly, get schools and daycares reopened, especially for working women.
When we see that happen, and again, we're going to see more of that in the fall, are we going to see a big change and a difference in getting the she-cession under control when we do get kids back in school full-time, back in those daycare centers?
I think it matters. I think it will make a huge difference. Last August, when schools did not reopen, we saw 865,000 women drop out of the labor force. And so what I anticipate is that we're going to see significant numbers of women re-entering the workforce when schools and daycares are able to fully reopen. Now, there's a small caveat because, you know, we have the Delta variant, we're still struggling with vaccination rates, and so if we regress and things shut down again, it's going to delay women re-entering the workforce.
You mentioned a couple of things here already, but you all did a survey asking women what is it they do want. What did you hear?
So we heard that they want health care. We heard that they want higher wages, more flexibility. Women in this moment, it's really been pivotal this last year. It's forced women to think about their work-life balance, how they're managing caretaking responsibilities. And so re-entering the workforce, those are all going to be factors in deciding which job to take.
The conversations are so different now, and some people just talk about resisting going back into an office because people have gotten used to being at home as if it's a lazy thing, but we've reprioritized. We really have, and I think a lot of places have been able to be very productive in work with workers not being physically in the office anymore. So what is it, I suppose, now that when we do go back to normal, everybody wants to go back to normal, but isn't there a danger in going back to what we knew as normal?
So I have news, TJ. We're not going back to normal. We cannot unring this bell. And you know, conversations that were impossible a year ago, workplace flexibility was considered an accommodation. Now it has become the new normal. Workplace flexibility is the new currency when negotiating a job, and you know who that's going to benefit? It's going to benefit women and families directly. There's no question about it. So I'm really optimistic that this is an opportunity for us to reimagine the workforce, reimagine work, and for employers to examine their workplace policies and practices.
I absolutely love that. I'm supposed to be the news guy on the show. Hey, TJ, I got news for you, okay? I love that. That was beautifully done. It was beautifully done. Well, we talk about all the reasons or some reasons to get people back into the workforce, and people have a range of theories about why folks have dropped out of the workforce. What incentives, and part of that has to be the employers, but what incentives need to be out there? You talked about, you know, helping people find that, women help find that work-life balance, but are wages a part of that as well? What else comes with incentivizing for somebody to get up and say, okay, that's worth me going back to an office?
So one of the things that we learned during the pandemic was that the economy wasn't working for a large part of the population, particularly women of color. And so when we surveyed women, one of their top priorities was raising the minimum wage, health benefits, having a job that's flexible, having job security. These are the things that women have needed and families have needed, workers have needed for some time. And now we're in a moment where we can think about what does it mean for workers to have those things. So employers are not going to be able to get away with paying lower wages, not providing health benefits, some of the things that we know in this pandemic in particular made the difference for workers.
All right, well, Dr. Mason, again, President CEO of the Institute for Women's Policy Research. It's good to have you here. Anytime you want to come back and give me news.
Yes.
You do it, okay? All right, Dr. Mason, thank you so much for being here.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here. to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.